I mean, you've been through a lot. Love, loss, grief.
I know.
Motherhood.
Yeah.
Single mom.
Yes, that's a very real thing.
It's a real thing, especially for growing up the way you grew up. You were like the Cosby Show. You guys were like the Cosby family.
And that's what I've always wanted, like, is to have that, like, big family and, like, because I grew up in it. So that was always, like, a goal. I thought at 17 I wanted to be married. And my, like, siblings would, like, laugh at me. They'd be like, you're not going to get married at 17. I'd be like, my dad would be like, leave her alone. But I want to be married at 17. I want 7 kids. After I had my first one, I'm like, okay, 7, maybe a stretch. But yeah, like, I love. So,
you do?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're, I don't know, particular about it? Like a certain kind of love? Or you just...
I like romantic love. I like fun love. Like, I'm big on the word fun.
But you like healthy love?
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, we all do, but...
I'm not... I think everyone has a little toxicity in them, but I don't like toxic. Like, I'm not attracted to that.
Yeah.
I want, like, healthy love.
Because that's what the household you grow up in.
Yeah, and then, I have 4 parents. I have my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my stepdad, which I grew up with, like, basically my whole life. So seeing 2 different marriages, I know what it looks like to be healthy in a healthy household.
It's so different than a lot of the conversations we have here.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of, especially women, the dad's not around. So then you grow up with not knowing how to even have a proper, vulnerable, emotional relationship because you don't have a relationship with a man that way. Or whatever, or toxicity between the parents. Yeah. Just all kinds of stuff. And then all of the things that happen from that.
Yeah.
So what happens from a perfect... I'm sure your family wasn't perfect.
I wouldn't say perfect. Yeah, perfect would be like...
But healthy.
Healthy. Yeah.
What happens from a health... Well, what issues could happen from growing up watching 2 healthy relationships?
Divorce or being in the middle of that as a kid and seeing that, internalizing that, I think people don't realize that. Like, that affects you as a kid. You're like, okay, parents split up and this, that. But, like, they both got into healthy relationships and that's great. But, like, I think a lot comes with that. Like, I feel like I move around a lot because I went back and forth to my parents' house so much as a kid. So I'm like, naturally cannot sit still. Like, I'm like, I gotta move. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Like, I have it in me just because, like, since I was a little girl, like, I would go back and forth to the houses. Like, I would be at my mom's house, dad's house, weekend, so it was always moving.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of sitting still.
I still don't sit still, yeah. I think...
Are you chasing something?
I don't like to chase things. I like to, like, flow. And I think I'm at that point in my life too. Like, if it's not meant for me, then I don't want it. You know what I mean? Anything in life that I have to chase, I don't feel like it's for me. I think if I'm pursuing it and it starts to, like, flow to me, then I feel like that's what's for me.
Are you super, like, spiritual about that process? Like, do you pay attention to signs and, like...
Yeah, if I feel like too many things are going this way, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. Even down to my travel, I'm like, ooh, if it's, like, off, that flight ain't for me, or this ain't for me. Like, I get to say, yeah, that's not right, or this. Like, I pay attention to the signs around me for sure.
Yeah. Did you grow up in... I know your father was a reverend, but, like, he wasn't always a reverend, right? Was he a reverend your whole life? No. No.
I used to go to the shows when he wasn't a reverend. Like, when I was the little girl in the van, going to the shows.
Aww. Watching Run DMC perform?
I never understood it until I understood it, though. I always say that. Like, you're in school, the kids are like, their parents want pictures and stuff, and you're like, why? Like, I'm in first grade, like,
my dad.
It's weird. And then eventually, like, oh, like, I think it took, like, one of those shows to get it. Like,
have you ever been really, like, fully able to grasp, like, the legacy of the name alone? Like, your uncle is known as, like, a godfather of hip hop. Your father is arguably one of, or if not the most important rap group in hip hop history. Like, in terms of hip hop culture. And I know you did growing up hip hop and all that stuff, but do you really feel connected to that legacy? Or is that just kind of like your family?
I definitely feel connected, I would say, and it's my family. Like, I think it's both. Like, music plays a really big part for me in my life and always has. And then, like, watching what my family has, like, grown and have done impacted me and, like, just, like, my path and what I want to do. I think the coolest part is, like, my dad always gave me the support of, like, you can do whatever you want. And if you change your mind, that's fine too. And I think I extend that to my son because it's like, that helped me, Did it ever
get weird, like, when you were young and you guys were sharing so much and you're still growing? I don't know, when you're still trying to find yourself, but now there's a version of you out in the public. People start looking at you through a lens.
Yeah.
I would imagine that sometimes you start looking at yourself through that lens.
Oh, I went through it. Yeah. I went through it until I didn't go through it no more. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was hard to, like, the public always gave me a hard time on like my body image. I felt like it was like, yeah, like specifically when I started going to Miami a lot when I was young, like there were paparazzi there. So that's like, I'm in a bathing suit. So they would be like, you know, she's got cellulite or cellulite ridden, this, that, like every day, different story. And I'm like,
I hate people.
I was having like a real breakdown. I had to speak to my dad, and having conversation with him kind of like just changed my perspective on people and their opinions. And like after that, he just told me like, because it was like around the time for like media takeout was around, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Right. So there was like a story on there on me, and I was just like so hurt about it. Like, how could they say this about me? Like, and I couldn't take any of it off. And he was like, this is like a very small percent of people. And I was like, dang, why would I care about this small amount of people when the world is this big? You know what I mean? Like, why am I even giving this my attention? And when I just like put that in perspective, I'm like, bro, like I need to just be in my world, worry about what I got going on, and I can't worry about what people say about me.
And for kids, you're young at that time. How old are you at that time?
Early 20s.
Yeah, come on. You still
early 20s.
You're not all the way in your bag yet.
No,
you know
I mean, I was moving around, but I was sick of those type of stories. I'm like, every other day something different, or they were like photoshopping stuff, making you bigger, small, like crazy stuff. Like if I look up Angela Simmons in a bikini, a billion pictures come up from over like the time, like when I would be out and about. But I was really just genuinely outside having fun with my friends or whatever, you know?
Yeah, living your life. It's not
and
normal.
I'm like, that's not it. No, it's not normal.
You do take health and wellness very seriously, though.
I love health and wellness.
Is that part of it? Did that like fuel that? You're like, yeah, I gotta get into this.
I got into it when I moved to LA, because I lived in LA for like 7 years. I moved to LA, I met a trainer, started working out, and I was like, I feel better like this. I became vegan, like vegetarian first then. So like, I just like, it shifted everything for me. I felt better about my life. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna live my life like this. And I've only grown in it because I'm just learning more as I go.
And we should talk about business, because I was thinking, we were talking about pastries before.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just looked it up and I was looking at like the numbers of what you sold it for. Talk about that time and the success of that moment.
So with pastry, my sister and I, like, we started doing that probably around 17, 18. That's when we first started filming the show. We traveled like the world, Europe, everywhere. Lines wrapped around 3,000 people plus just to come to our shoe signings. And yeah, very proud moment. You know, like my sister and I designed it together on our own. Like we had the help of obviously our father and our uncle. And at the time we were working with another company that got behind it. So, but yeah, really proud moment. We did that for like 7 years, maybe a long time. I don't know. Don't quote me on the amount of time, but I know that was like it taught me a lot about the business.
I was going to say from a business point, like what are you most proud of as a business? Because it made a lot of money, right?
Yeah, it did really well. We did really well with pastry. And
I don't know, but ChatGPT was throwing around like 50 million numbers like that.
It was over 66 million.
Wow.
Yeah, so it did really well. And my sister and I, like I said, like we really like, it was our thing. Like it was a licensing deal. So we worked with another company on it. And then from there, like I learned the business early from there. Like there's nothing, it's better to like really be a part of something. That's how you learn it. Like being on the inside. Cause like I would have never learned all the things I learned without being a part of that.
Do you think you get the credit of being the businesswoman that you are?
No.
No.
I don't. You know, I think I did a lot of things that a lot of people do earlier on, and because it was so new that it doesn't always get the recognition that when other people do it.
Do you feel like, are you proud of yourself as a businesswoman?
I don't feel like I'm where I want to be yet, but I have a lot of things that I'm working on, from my Angela's Cakes and my wellness. I'm building a wellness community, but I'm not there yet, but I'm close.